So what we did yesterday was Hare Krishna Mataji, Kalavati Shetty, Hare Krishna. Jyoti Shetty, two Shetties. You are from Mangalore originally? All Shetties are from Mangalore, no? Now all are muted now. Muted.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Vanita Mataji. Okay. So we have done, we were in the middle of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj instructions are actually very advanced. But we will take a glimpse of that. Maybe after that, it needs a summary study even of all. Just like generally we read the shlokas, that will be very, very tough. Let us read. Let us go there. We go by net itself better. So which chapter we were in? Canto?
Text 40.
Text.
Text 14.
Chapter?
11.
10. Text 11.
Which is the canto?
Canto. Fifth canto.
Yeah, fifth canto. This is over. Chapter 10 is over. Chapter 11 we have to go.
Chapter 10 is over. Yeah.
See, now you see, chapter 11 is Bharat Maharaj instruct Rahuguna. Chapter 12, again, conversation Maharaj Ugra Bharat. Then again, further talks in Rahuguna Bharata. Then again, metal words that describe this. So 4 chapters of his instructions are there. Therefore, India is known as Bharat Varsha. He did not open his mouth. When he opened his mouth, 4 chapters are Vedavyasa is taking notes and writing 4 chapters on that. Each shloka is full of so much deep meaning. So you want to understand? Let me start. Actually, the sweetest is the metal word of the great forest of enjoyment. We hear that, generally it is said, if somebody brahmachari wants to get married, we tell him to read this chapter. He reads this chapter and continues as brahmachari. Wow. Better be brahmachari. It very nicely symbolizes. Let us see little, touch here and there. So we have 4 chapters. Chapter 10, chapter 11 start, no? The discussion starts here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyapadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yada Bharata instructs King Rahuguna. Now text number 1. The Brahmana Jadabharata said, my dear king, although you are not at all experienced, you are trying to speak like an experienced man. Consequently, you cannot be considered an experienced man. An experienced person does not speak the way you are speaking in relation between master and servant about mental pains and pleasure. These are simply external activity. Any advanced experienced man considering absolute truth does not talk in this way. So even in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, first thing Krishna corrects Arjuna. Ashochan anuvashocastam pragyavadam sabhashase gatasun agatasun cha nanu shochan pandita. He says, no learned man speaks like this. What happened in the chapter 11? Just let us connect that. I'm forgetting what we studied in the previous chapter. No, we didn't read this. We didn't read this.
We read up to text 14, Prabhuji. Up to
Yeah,
text
14.
14.
That's why connection is not there.
Ah.
O best of the Pandu dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, king of Sundhi and Savirashtra, Maharaj Rahuguda, had great faith in the discussion of absolute truth. Being thus qualified, he heard from Jadabharata the philosophical presentation approved by all scripture in the mystic yoga process, which slackens the knot in the heart. His material conception of himself as the king was thus destroyed. He immediately descended from his palanquin and fell flat on the ground with his head at the lotus feet of Jadabharata, in a way that he might excuse for insulting words against a great Brahmana. He then prayed as follows. So, why this happened? Because Jadabharata, my dear king, you said, you rascal, you dull, I'm going to chastise you. He revealed, let me say that although I live like a dull, I'm actually a self-realized person. What you will gain by punishing me? Yeah, this is clear. If your calculation is true that I am a madman, then your punishment is like beating a dead horse. What is the use? So if you're thinking I'm mad, so if you're thinking I'm madman, why you want to punish me? What is the use of beating a mad person? So there is no use. Then he reveals. He reveals here, I am a self-realized person. He opens his mouth first time in his life. And Rahuguna believes him. That's the point. Maharaj King Rahuguna chastised the exalted devotee Jadabharata with harsh words. That peaceful, saintly person tolerated all and replied properly. Nisa's duty bodily concerned Jadabharata was not at all affected by this false concession. Out of natural humility, he never considered himself a great devotee and he agreed to suffer the results of his past karma. Like an ordinary man, he thought that by carrying the palanquin, he was destroying the reaction of past misdeeds. Thinking in this way, he began to carry the palanquin as before. Shukdev Goswami continued, best of the Pandava dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, king of Sindhu and Sauvira state, Maharaj Rahuguda had great faith in the discussion of the absolute truth. Being thus qualified, he heard from Jadabharata the philosophical representation which is approved by all scripture in the mystic yoga process and which slackens the knot in the heart. His material conception of him as the king was thus destroyed. He immediately descended from his palanquin and fell flat on the ground with his head to the lotus feet of Jadabharata. In such a way, he might be excused for insulting words against a great Brahmana. He then prayed as follows. King Rahuguna said, O Brahmana, you have to appear to be moving very much covered and unknown to others. Who are you? Are you a learned Brahmana and saintly person? I see that you are wearing a sacred thread. Are you one of those exalted, liberated saints such as Dattatreya and highly advanced learned scholars? May I ask you whose disciple you are? Where do you live? Why have you come to this place? Is your mission coming here to do good for us? Please let me know who you are. So nice. You see, even though he's a king, at heart, Vedic culture is very strong. Oh, mere se to aparadh ho gaya. Let me ask. My dear sir, I am not at all afraid of the thunderbolt of King Indra, nor I am afraid of the serpentine piercing trident of Lord Shiva. I do not care for the punishment of Yamaraj or supreme death, nor I am afraid of fire, scorching sun, moon, wind, or weapons of Kuvera. Yet I am afraid of offending a Brahmana. I am very much afraid of this. So he doesn't want to hurt a saintly person. He's a great person. He's actually a good king. He said, I thought of some ordinary labor and I was correcting him, but this is not tolerable for. If I have offended a Vaishnava, it's a very difficult thing for me. So I'm not scared of anything, but I don't want to hurt a saint. My dear sir, it appears that the influence of your great spiritual knowledge is hidden. Factually, you are bereft of all materialization, fully absorbed in the thought of the Supreme. Consequently, you are unlimitedly advanced in spiritual knowledge. Please tell me why you are wandering around like a dullard. Oh, great saintly person, you have spoken words approved by the yogic process, but it is not possible for us to understand what you have said. Therefore, kindly explain it. So he gave us the spiritual knowledge. थोड़ा समझा मेरे को समझ नहीं आया ढंग से. I consider your good self the most exalted master of yogic power. You know the spiritual science perfectly well. You are the most exalted of all learned citizens. You have descended for the benefit of all human society. You have come to give spiritual knowledge. You are a direct representative of Kapila Deva, the incarnation of God, and the plenary portion of knowledge. I am therefore asking you, O spiritual master, what is the most secure shelter in this world? And now start asking questions. Is it not a fact that a good soul is the direct representative of Kapila Deva, the incarnation of personality Godhead? to examine people and see who is actually a human being, who is not. You have presented yourself as a deaf and dumb person. Are you not moving this way on the surface of the world? I am very much attached to family life and worldly activities, and I am blind to spiritual knowledge. Nonetheless, I am now present before you and seeking enlightenment from you. How can I advance the spiritual life? You have said, I am not fatigued from labor. Though the soul is different from the body, there is a fatigue because the body labor. It appears to be the fatigue of the soul. When I carrying the palanquin, there is certainly labor for the soul. This is my conjecture. You also said the external behavior exhibited by master and servant is not factual. But although in the phenomenal world it is not factual, the products of the phenomenal world actually affect things that is visible and experienced. As such, even though material activity is impermanent, they cannot be said to be untrue. King Rahuguna continued, my dear sir, you have said that designation like bodily fatness, thinness are not characteristics of the soul. That is incorrect, but designations like pain and pleasure are certainly felt by the soul. You may put a pot of milk and rice within fire, and the milk and rice are automatically heated one after another. So due to the bodily pains and pleasures, the sense and mind senses are affected. The soul cannot be completely detached from this conditioning. My dear sir, you said the relationship between king and the subject or between master and servant are not eternal. But although such relationships are temporary, when a person takes the position of king, his duty is to rule the citizens and punish those who are disobedient to the law. By punishing them, it teaches the citizens to obey the laws of the state. Again, you say that punishing a person is deaf and dumb is like chewing the chewed or grinding the pull. That is to say, there is no benefit in it. However, if one is engaged in own occupational duties as ordered by Supreme Lord, his sinful act is certainly diminished. Therefore, if one is engaged in occupational duty by force, he benefits because he can vanquish all his sinful activities in that way. What you have spoken appears to me to be contradictory. Your best to the friend of the district that I committed a great offense by insulting you. I was puffed up with false prestige due to possessing the body of a king. For this I have certainly become an offender. Therefore I pray that you kindly glance at me with your causeless mercy. If you do so, I can be relieved from the sinful activities brought by insulting you. My dear Lord, you are the friend of the Supreme Personality, God over the friend of the living entities. You are therefore equal to everyone. You are free from the bodily concession. Although I committed an offense by insulting you, I know there is no loss again for you due to my insult. You are fixed in your determination, but I have committed an offense. Because of this, even though I may be as strong as Lord Shiva, I will be vanquished without delay due to my offense of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. So great. See, king is there, but he is a gentleman. And he wants some clarification. He wants him to clarify what he taught and explain things systematically. Because he's speaking hushed. He said, no, मेरे को कुछ समझ नहीं आया अभी आप क्या बोल रहे हैं? Looks contradictory to me, all the instructions. So you want Jadabharata to answer the questions? Not going to be easy, huh? 4 chapters it is. Chalo, we'll start. The Brahmana Jadabharata says you're trying to speak like an experienced man. Consequently, you cannot be considered an experienced man. An experienced person does not speak the way you're speaking about relationship between master and servant, about material pains and pleasure. This is a simply external activity. Any advanced experienced man, considering absolute, does not talk in this. First, similar to what Krishna corrects Arjuna. He says you're talking like an experienced man, but you're not an experienced man. You're a fool number one. So, okay, Hare Krishna. Is it clear? So Jadabharata starts and he corrects him, says you're speaking like a learned man, but you're a fool number one. My dear king, talks between the master and the servant, the king and the subject and so forth are simply talks about material activities. People interested in material activity which are expounded in the Vedas are intent of performing material sacrifices and placing faith in the material activity. For such people, spiritual advancement is definitely not manifested. See, most of the people practice spiritual life for material advancement. They get to some heaven or some special privilege. They're not having proper idea what is spiritual advancement. This is long instruction. I think till here is enough. Bharat Maharaj pastime now, for now. Because this will take a lot of explanation for me. A lot of things have to be developed now. Okay. Let me go back. We'll do something. Okay, this is clear. We pastime, this much we did. This is a brief pastime that we have Jadabharata and Jadabharata. And Jadabharata instructed Rahuguna, and then there is a deep discussion because get into that, it will take a lot of energy. Someday I will read the 4 chapters and summarize for you. That I can do, but now going to that reading will be tough for all of you. Okay. Oh, so we have so many people today. So we have done Prahlad Maharaj, we have done Bharat Maharaj, we have done Bharat Maharaj, we did till that only. Later it'll take some other day. It needs some preparation and then I can take some. Like Prahlad Maharaj, I did know. I had taken main points. That will be easy. You remember I showed you the change of body? That was interesting. Huh? Born again, death again. Amazing, no? That was very, very beautiful. Okay. Okay, let me take somebody else now. There is one more interesting pastime. So we did, Can you see this? What is this? Chalo, today we will do this one now.
Jadabharata is not over, na Prabhu?
No, Jadabharata is very big pastime. It requires, so 3 chapters I can't read. It is bounces. So a lot of preparation has to go in. It will be difficult for people. But I'll go simple. You heard about Bali Maharaj, Vamana. We will today study Vamanas. Correct? Jadabharata, I'll come back a little later. I need to study and make short notes. Otherwise, it's too big. 4 chapters, it will be difficult. Okay.
This is which chapter, Prabhu?
And this I am taking from Veda base, from Bhagavatam 8th canto now. This is about
8th.
yeah.
8th
So
canto.
yeah, let me start from this instance and then I will talk. Let me explain. Simple. This chapter has these features 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6. These are the features
Which
from this.
chapter, Prabhuji?
Huh?
Which chapter, Prabhuji? Chapter
This is
8 canto, chapter number.
chapter number 18. Okay, now let me explain to you. Take it. Vaman Dev Jai. So what happens first? The first scene is that Aditi, Aditi, the mother of the Devatas, and Diti, the mother of the Daityas. All Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, all are sons of Diti. And Aditi's sons are all the Devatas. And Aditi was in great, both are wives of Kashyapa Muni. And Aditi was in great tension because Bali Maharaj had become very powerful. And because of him, all her children were hiding. So then, Bali Maharaj has conquered Trilokeshwara, and he was in such powerful position, and they were all hiding. So Aditi, what she does, she is praying to the Lord. And she asked Kashyapa what she should do, and she did some prayers to the Lord, some tapasya she did, and Lord appeared. When the Lord appeared, he told, okay, don't worry, I'll soon take birth from your womb and I'll solve the situation. Because there is a problem here. I read, please. There is a problem here that okay, so there is a problem that my sons, your sons are deprived of power. I'll solve it. So Krishna has to devise a very particular process. He has to think of a process. Just like Hiranyakashipu, he thought of a process. There was some complication. Krishna always tries to solve in a best way. He solved. Hiranyakashipu came in half man, half land, killed him inside, outside, all nails, no weapon. Here, Bali Maharaj was sincerely serving Shukracharya, who was a pure Brahmana, but he's not a Vaishnava. That's the problem with him. True, later in this, he gradually becomes Vaishnava as he takes darshan of the Lord. So now Shukracharya, by the blessing of Shukracharya, Bali Maharaj has become very powerful. Now Krishna cannot take away something which is blessed by a Brahmana. Whatever it is, he is controlling his senses, he is a pure Brahmana. He is given blessing. Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. But at the same time, he wants to return the power to the sons of Aditi. So what to do? So Krishna devises a plan. That plan of, taking 3 steps and all is a drama created by Krishna so that he doesn't want to break anything. Like Hiranyakashipu, he did it in such a way, he did not break anything. He fulfilled all the promises. So now he says, Aditi, I am going to do this. So now let us go back to the Bhagavatam and read it. It's a very beautiful chapter and we'll come back to the pictures when needed. And I think every time we come to picture, we'll have some discussion. We'll do like that. Okay, so when Aditi saw, so as per the promise, he took birth from Aditi, and when Aditi saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead who had appeared from a womb having actually a transcendental body by his own spiritual potency, she was struck with wonder and was very happy. Upon seeing the child, Prajapati Kashyapa explained Jaya Jaya in great happiness and wonder. He was also happy the Lord has taken birth in his house. So first the Lord appeared in original form with ornaments and weapons in his hand. Although this ever-existing form is not visible in the material world, he nonetheless appeared in his form. In the presence of his father and mother, he assumed the form of a Brahmana, dwarf, a brahmachari like a theatrical actor. The great sages saw the Lord of the brahmachari dwarf Vamana. They were certainly very pleased. They placed before them Kashyapa Muni, Prajapati, and performed the ritualistic ceremonies such as birthday ceremony. So now this started happening. They performed this ceremony. Now he is born, he has taken, first he took this form and then he taken this form. Now they are doing some ceremony. Getting Namakarana, everything that way. Thus the place.
Which are the sages they are referring, Prabhu, here?
Chalo, chalo, all sages are there. Can you see? 1, 2. When the great sages saw the Lord of the brahmachari dwarf Vamana, they were certainly very pleased. Thus they placed before them Kashyapa Muni, the Prajapati, and performed all the ritual ceremonies such as birthday ceremony. It will come, all the sages will come because they are going to do something. At the sacred thread ceremony of Vaman Deva, the sun god personally uttered the Gayatri mantra. So imagine what everything is happening. Sun god himself is entering the putting Gayatri mantra in his ears. Brahaspati offered the sacred thread. Kashyapa Muni offered the straw belt. Mother Earth gave him a deer skin. And the demigod, the moon, who is the king of the forest, gave him Brahma Danda, the rod of a brahmachari. Brahmachari can also have a small danda, brahmachari danda. Mother Aditi gave him the cloth for underwear. And the deity presiding over the heavenly kingdom gave an umbrella. So, see, one by one, he is being gifted everything by different. All this are put in the pictures. The umbrella here, straw belt, see, everything is being done. Kashyapa is the straw belt, okay. O King, Lord Brahma offered a water pot to the inexhaustible Supreme Personality Godhead. The 7 great sages offered him kusha grass, and Mother Saraswati gave him a string of Rudraksha bead. When Vamandeva was thus given the sacred thread, Kuvera, the king of Yakshas, gave him the pot for begging, and Mother Bhagavati, the wife of Lord Shiva, the most chaste mother of the entire universe, gave him his first psalm. So everything is being accepted by all the Devatas have come to welcome, because Lord Vishnu has come now. Having thus been welcomed by everyone, I say, okay, Lord Vamana, the best of the brahmachari, now is on his task. Exhibited Brahman effulgence. Thus he surpassed in beauty the entire assembly filled with great saintly brahmanas. After Lord Shri Vamanadeva set a sacrificial fire, he offered worship and performed a fire sacrifice on the sacrificial field. When Lord heard that Bali Maharaj was performing Ashtamedha Yagna sacrifice under the patronage of the Brahmanas belonging to the Bhrigu dynasty, Supreme Lord was full in every respect, proceeded there to show his mercy to Bali Maharaj. By his weight, he pushed down the earth with every step. So look at his opulence. He is walking now to the place where Bali Maharaj is doing sacrifice, and when he is walking, the earth is shaking. He is pushing down earth with every step, even though he is in a small boy, but he is having all the powers. So one more small boy. Prahlad Maharaj small boy, Dhruv Maharaj small boy, there is another small boy. By his weight, he pushed down the earth with every step. While engaged in performing sacrifice in the field known as Bhrigu Kacha on the northern bank of Narmada river, the Brahminical priest, the descendant of Bhrigu, saw Vamanadeva to be like sun rising nearby. So when they say Vamanadeva coming, as if sun is rising. So much he was effulgent. Oh King, because of Vamadeva's bright effulgence, the priest along with Bali Maharaj and all members of the assembly were robbed of their splendor. Thus they began to ask one another whether sun god himself, Sanat Kumar or fire god, have personally come to see the sacrificial service. Who is this person who has come so bright? While the priests of the Bhrigu dynasty and their disciples talked and argued in various ways, the Supreme Personality God of Vamanadeva, holding in his hand the rod, umbrella, water pot full of water, entered the arena of the assembly of the sacrifice. Appearing as a Brahmana boy wearing a belt of straw, sacred thread, and an upper garment of a deer skin and matted locks of hair, Lord Vamanadeva entered the arena of sacrifice. His brilliant effulgence diminished the brilliance of all the priests and their disciples, who thus stood from their seats and welcomed the Lord properly by offering obeisance. So everybody gave obeisances to him. Bali Maharaj, jubilant at seeing Lord Vamadeva's beautiful limbs contributed equally to the beauty of his entire body, offered him a seat with great satisfaction. So he respectfully received, Bali Maharaj receives him. So the offering a proper reception to the Supreme Personality Godhead, who is always beautiful to liberated souls, Bali Maharaj worshipped him by washing his lotus feet. Lord Shiva, the best of the demigod, who carries on his forehead the emblem of moon, receives on his head with great devotion the Ganges water emanating from the toe of Vishnu. Being aware of religious principle, Bali Maharaj knew this. Consequently, following in the footsteps of Lord Shiva, he also placed on his head the water that had washed the Lord's lotus feet. So he was very happily received the water. So he washes. Bali Maharaj actually understands who has come. Why? Because he's a great devotee. He's not having doubt who has come. But the problem is he's surrounded by atheists. Actually, Bali Maharaj wanted to give Dandavat Pranam when he saw Vamandeva coming. But he, because of, so priests are not so devoted, he was holding himself, mentally offered prayers to the Lord. My Lord, please accept my prayers. You know my position, my situation. And he actually wants to give everything to the Lord, but very carefully he'll manage now. Bali Maharaj said to Vamandeva, "O Brahmana, I offer you my hearty welcome and respectful obeisances. Please let us know what may do for you. We think that you have personified austerity of the great Brahmana sages. O my Lord, because you kindly arrived at our home, all our forefathers satisfied, our family and entire dynasty have been sanctified, and the sacrifice you are performing is now completed because of your presence. O son of a Brahmana, today the fire of sacrifice ablaze. According to injunction Shastra, I have been freed from all sinful action of my life by water that has washed your lotus feet. O my Lord, with the touch of your small lotus feet, the entire surface of the world becomes sanctified." Actually, he knows what he's speaking, but is carefully managing the word so that other atheists don't get disturbed. O son of a Brahmana, it appears that you have come here to ask you for something. Therefore, whatever you want me to take from me, whatever you want, you may take from me. O best of those who are worshipable, you may take from me a cow, a goat, a furnished house, palatable food, drink. You want to get married, daughter of a Brahmana for your wife, prosperous villages, horses, elephants, chariots, whatever you desire.
How did he recognize the Supreme Lord, Prabhu?
Because he's the grandson of Prahlad. Because of the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj, he was a very advanced devotee. Okay. Anyway, now he's speaking out of etiquette, receiving a great Brahmana, but heart of the heart he knows, my Lord has come. Shukadeva Goswami continued, when the Supreme Personality Godhead Vamadeva heard Bali Maharaj speaking in this pleasing way, he was very satisfied. Bali Maharaj spoken in terms of religious principle, thus the Lord began to praise him. Okay, it's clear for everybody what is happening now? Bali Maharaj has come. Sorry, Vamadeva has come. Bali Maharaj identified, my Lord has come. And Vamadeva is doing the drama, coming as a small child with the umbrella. Actually, he could have gone as Vishnu. But then today he would have broken his promise that he is protected of the Brahmana. Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya. He doesn't want to do that. So he's very carefully managing the whole drama. And you see, and Bali Maharaj also knows what he's doing. All people, for them, the drama is being managed. Just like in a court, the lawyer was telling me, before the court starts, you've already decided its judgment. But only if you people will do some drama to convince the people what is going on. If you have heard, nowadays judgment is like that. Already they decide when coming to the court what you're going to do. Okay. Supreme Personality Godhead said, "O King, you are indeed exalted because your present advisor Brahmana was a descendant of the Bhrigu, and because your instructor of future life is your grandfather, the peaceful and venerable Prahlad Maharaj." That is his grandfather. Your statements are very true, and they completely agree with religious etiquette. They are in keeping with the behavior of a family, and they enhance your reputation. Good. I know that even until now, no one taking birth in a family as in poor mind or miserly. No one has refused to give charity. He's from word, go playing with it. Nobody has refused to give charity to Brahmanas. And after promising to give charity, has anyone failed to fulfill the promise? Nobody in a dynasty has done that. You're all very charitable people. And once you promise, you don't take back your promise, because that is going to happen now. O King Bali, never in a dynasty has the low-minded been person who, upon being requested, has refused charity to the Brahman and holy players of fight Kshatriyas on the battlefield. And dynasty is more glorious to the presence of Prahlad Maharaj, who is like a beautiful moon in the sky. We already studied about him. Now he is glorifying his ancestors very cleverly. It was in a dynasty Hiranyaksha was born, carrying all his own club. He wandered the globe alone. Without assistance to conquer all direction, no hero he met could rival him. When delivering the earth of the Gurubadaka sea, Lord Vishnu, the incarnation as boar, killed Hiranyaksha, who had appeared before him. The fight was severe and the Lord killed Hiranyaksha with great difficulty. Later on, as the Lord thought about the uncommon prowess of Hiranyakashipu, he felt himself victorious indeed. Oh, it was really tough even for Vishnu to kill your one of the ancestors. When Hiranyakashipu heard the news of his brothers being killed with great anger, he went to the residence of Vishnu and killer of his brother, wanting to kill Lord Vishnu. Seeing Hiranyakashipu come bear with a trident in his hand like personified death, the Lord Vishnu, the best of all mystic knower of the progressive time, thought as follows. Wherever so I go, Hiranyakashipu will follow me as the death follows all living entity. Therefore, it is better for me to enter the core of his heart. For then, because of his power to see only externally, he will not see me. So people like Hiranyakashipu, they never look inside his heart. They're okay looking outside. So Lord hid in his heart. So he's glorifying even his ancestors somehow who were killed by Lord Vishnu. Lord Vamadeva, king of the demons, after Lord Vishnu made this decision, entered the body of enemy Hiranyakashipu, thus running after him with great force. In a subtle body unconcealed to Hiranyakashipu, Lord Vishnu with a great anxiety entered Hiranyakashipu's nostril along with his breath. Upon seeing the residence of Lord Vishnu was vacant, Hiranyakashipu began searching for Lord Vishnu everywhere. Angry at not seeing him, Hiranyakashipu screamed loudly and searched the entire universe, including surface of the earth, the higher planetary system, all direction, all the caves and ocean. But Hiranyakashipu, the great hero, did not see Vishnu anywhere. Unable to see him, Hiranyakashipu said, I have searched the entire universe, but I could not find Vishnu has killed my brother. Therefore, he must certainly gone to the place from which no one returned. He said, might be he's dead now, I can't find him anywhere. Hiranyakashipu's anger persisting, and Lord Vishnu persisted until his death. Other people in the bodily concept line maintain anger only because of the false ego and the great influence of ignorance. Your father Virochana, son of Praharat Maharaj, was very affectionate to a Brahmana. Although he knew very well that it was a demigod who had come to him in the dress of Brahmana, at their request to deliver them duration of his life. So another pastime, Virochana, some other day. You now observe the principle followed of the great personalities who are household of Brahmanas, by your forefathers and by great heroes extremely famous for their exalted activity. O King of the Daityas, from your majesty, who come from such a noble family, who are able to give charity munificently, I ask only 3 paces of land to the measurement of my steps. You heard about this pastime again, all of you know. But today we are going to the detail. Correct? You are not never read with this detail now. Okay. Maharaj Rahuguna left the pastime because it was, I need to study before explaining to you. That's some other day I'll do that. Okay. And actually when you do Bhagavatam study, it comes step by step. Directly going there are 3 chapters and a lot of philosophy I'll have to study personally. I cannot just hush up there. But this is very simple pastime, understandable and easily appreciable. Okay, till now, any doubts anybody has? Is clear till now?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have one doubt.
Just wait. Yeah, what is the doubt?
How could Hiranyakashipu approach Vaikuntha while he was in search of Lord Vishnu?
Not gone to Vaikuntha. See, another thing, he's just encouraging him. He's just encouraging him, saying Hiranyaksha gave a tough fight. Hiranyakashipu was searching. His idea at this time is to ask him for 3 pieces of land and trick him and take away the kingdom. Okay. Not we have even this personality, Durvasa Muni also. Durvasa Muni also.
So it was true, Prabhu, they went to Vaikuntha.
Not Durvasa Muni also met Vishnu. No, see, not. See, in the material world also Vishnu has a place called Shirodaksha Vishnu. He has a place. You want to go, you can go. Near Dhruva Loka. Practically at Dhruva Loka. Okay? So Hiranyakashipu was searching for him, taken in that way. The detailed I do not know why Vaman Deva has said. Practically, he is at this point just flattering Bali Maharaj. He's just saying, Hiranyaksha, he was a tough fighter. So he's not telling he's a demon. Hiranyakashipu is also a demon. He's not telling that. Oh, your Prahlad Maharaj was a diamond. Even Hiranyaksha was very wonderful. Even Hiranyakashipu was like that. It's not that in fact he's telling the facts, your grandfather, the big demons. He's not telling that. Chalo, that is not the focus also now. Let us focus on this pastime. Okay. Where are we? But in the universe also there is a place, but let us not get lost into that. That can be studied later. Who have such a noble family who are able to give charity munificently? I ask only 3 pieces of land to the measurement of my steps. Please give me 3 pieces of land. O King, control the entire universe. Although you are very munificent, able to give me as much land as I want, I do not want anything from you that is unnecessary. If a learned Brahmana takes charity from others only according to his needs, it does not become entangled in sinful activities. Bali Maharaj, O son of a Brahmana, your instructions are as good as those of learned and elderly persons. Nonetheless, you are a boy and your intelligence is insufficient. Therefore, you are not very prudent in regard to yourself. क्या पूछ रहे हो? 3 step land, कुटी भी नहीं बनेगी ढंग से. मांगो ना, मांगना है तो ऐसा मांगो कि दोबारा जाके कहीं you don't have to go and ask anything anywhere. Ask nicely. I am able to give you the entire island because I am the proprietor of the 3 divisions of the universe, Trilokeshwara. You have come to take something from me and have pleased me by your sweet word, but you are asking only 3 pieces of land. Therefore, you are not very intelligent. Don't ask so small. Oh, small boy who approaches me to beg something should not have to ask anything anymore anywhere. That is his, Ishwar Bhava. Mere se maang rahe ho na. You ask so much that you don't have to run around for these things any other place. Therefore, if you wish, you may ask from me as much land as will suffice to maintain you according to your needs. O personality, God had said, my dear king, even the entirety of whatever there may be within the 3 words to satisfy one's senses cannot satisfy a person whose senses are uncontrolled. So he replied, so he said, Are jam ke mago na chota, why you're asking small this? Ask more. So he says, see, whatever is there within the 3 words cannot satisfy one's senses. Person whose senses are not controlled. Somebody cannot control his senses, will never be satisfied. Therefore, if I was not satisfied 3 pieces of land, then I will not be satisfied with possessing even 7 islands consisting of 9 Varsha. Even if I possess 1 island, I will be hoping to get others. I have heard that although the powerful king like Maharaj Prithu and Maharaj Gaya achieved proprietorship over 7 Dvipas, they could not achieve satisfaction or find the end of their ambitions. So he's giving an example. There are many people control everything, but they will not be satisfied. One should be satisfied with whatever he achieves by his previous destiny, but discontent can never bring happiness. A person who is not self-control will not be happy even with possessing of the 3 words. So this is now, a debate is going on between them. He is saying, take 3 steps, ask, he also 3 steps. He said, thoda aur maango na, thoda maango. So then Maman Deva was saying, no, we should not be discontent. What I need minimum, that's enough. Material existence causes discontent regard to fulfilling one lusty desire, achieving more and more money. This is the cause of continuation of material life, which is full of repeated birth and death. But one is satisfied by that which is obtained by destiny, is fit for liberation from this material existence. A Brahmana is satisfied with whatever is providentially obtained is increasingly enlightened in the spiritual power. But the spiritual potency of a dissatisfied Brahmana decreases as the fire diminishes potency when water is sprinkled over it. So when actually, unless the senses are controlled, we cannot have any qualities. So he's saying dissatisfied Brahmana means what qualities he has. Therefore, O Brahmana, from you, the best of those who give charity, I ask only 3 pieces of land. He's repeating. By such a gift, I'll be very pleased. And the way of happiness is to be fully satisfied, to which one is absolute. That much only I need, and I'm satisfied with that. Don't need to give me anything more. When the Supreme Sukadeva Goswami continued, when the Supreme Personality Godhead had just spoken to Bali Maharaj smiled and told him, all right, take whatever you like. Take. He's giving you, take, that's yours. To confirm his promise to give Vamana. Now, word has come from his mouth. Please note that's very, very important. What is to be very, very important? From his mouth, the word has come. Take what you like. This is very important thing because this will have bearings later. To confirm his promise to give Vamadeva desired land, he took up his water pot. Now, this much has happened. Understanding Lord Vishnu's purpose, Shukracharya, the best of the learned, immediately spoke as follows to his disciple who was about to offer everything to Vamadeva. So Shukracharya actually, like a tube light, took time to understand. Bali Maharaj had already detected what's happening, but he was just being very formal in his outlook. Shukracharya said, "Oh son of Virochana, this brahmachari in the form of Brahmana, dwarf is directly imperishable personality Godhead Vishnu. Accepting Kashyapa Muni as his father and Aditi as mother, appeared in order to fulfill the interest of the demigod." Now he understood what's happening. So Krishna revealed to him now. After words came the mouth of Bali Maharaj, take. So Krishna is very careful what happens when. You do not know what a dangerous position you have accepted a promising to give him land. I do not think that this promise is good for you. It will bring great harm to the demons. This person falsely appearing as the brahmachari is actually the Supreme Personality Godhead Hari, who has come in this form to take away all your land, wealth, beauty, power, fame, education. And after taking everything from you, he will deliver it to the Indra, your enemy. So Shukracharya now can understand what's happening and he will take everything and give to Indra. That's what the purpose of Vamadeva. You promised to give him 3 steps of land in charity. When you give it, he will occupy the 3 worlds. You are a rascal. You don't know what a great mistake you have made. After giving everything Lord Vishnu, you will have no means of livelihood. And how then shall you will live? And after that, he doesn't silent. How will I live? Because Shukracharya is living on salary from Bali Maharaj. So he is more worried about that. And this is drama he is doing. After giving everything to Lord Vishnu, you have no means of livelihood. How will you maintain yourself? Vamadeva will first occupy the 3 worlds with 1 step, then he'll take the 2nd step and occupy everything in outer space. Then he'll expand his universal body to occupy everything. Where will you offer him the 3rd step? You will certainly be unable to fulfill your promise, and I think that because inability, your eternal resistance will be held. Because if you not fulfill your promise, you go to Naraka. Learned scholar, do not praise that charity which endangers one's own livelihood. Charity, sacrifice, austerity, and fruitive act are possible for one who is incompetent to earn a livelihood. Therefore, one who is in full knowledge should divide his accumulated wealth in 5 parts for religion, for reputation, for opulence, for sense gratification, maintenance with family and work. Such person is happy in this world and in the next. One might argue that you have already promised. How can you refuse? The best of the demons just take from me the evidence of Brahaswachi, which says the promise is truthful, preceded by the word Om, and untruthful if not. See how clever he is doing. He's saying, तुमने promise किया ना, पहले Om नहीं बोला. If you say Om and then make promise, that promise is good. You forgot to say Om, so that is very good. So you don't have to really give him. You got it? जैसे lawyers का काम क्या होता है, ऐसे ही काम होता है lawyers का. Lawyers, government rule बनाते हैं, lawyers लोग बीच में ढूंढते हैं, अरे रे, see, that is not there, 1 clause. So he's finding 1 clause. Before saying take, you didn't say Om and then take. So because you didn't say Om, you don't have to fulfill it. There is one. So, okay, you got my getting? I think you have heard this, but I don't think anybody would have read this in detail. So see how clever is he?
We haven't read, yeah.
This is very beautiful. This is also Mataji's surface study because we are only studying some translation. We are not reading the explanation deeply.
Okay.
The Vedas enjoin that a factual result of the tree of the body is the good fruits and flowers derived from it. But if the body tree does not exist, there is no possibility of factual fruits and flowers. Even if the body is based on truth, there cannot be factual fruits and flowers without the help of the body. So we need to preserve the body. See, you see that everything, what I am not revealing to you, the shloka is there, word meaning is there. What we are reading is only translation and then explanation.
Okay.
So but we are going surface study.
Okay.
But it is nice. It is also sweet.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah, right. Very nice.
Later, we will all study deeply. Don't worry. We have life still pending. When a tree is uprooted, it immediately falls down and begins to dry. Similarly, one doesn't take care of the body, which is supposed to be untruth. In the word, the untruth is uprooted, the body and not to become dry. So he's giving some argument. See, we have to protect our life. That is first. Not that we will do charity, which will put us in risk. In utterance of the word Om signifies separation of monetary assets. In other words, by uttering this one becomes free from attachment to money because his money is taken away from him. To be without money is not very satisfactory. For in that position, one cannot fulfill one's desire. In other words, by using the word Om, one becomes poverty-stricken. Especially one gives charity to a poor man or a beggar, one remains unfulfilled with self-realization and his self-gratification. It says, therefore, he is giving logic reasons someone not to give charity. Don't give. Don't give. And I don't think you should do this. Therefore, the safe course is to say no, say no, say no. I'm sorry. I said, okay, that's fine, but I'll not give you. I'm sorry. Although it is falsehood, I know you're going to tell a lie. It protects one completely. It draws the compassion other toward oneself, gives one full facility to collect money from others for oneself. Nonetheless, if always preached that he has nothing, he is condemned. For in the dead body, while living or while still breathing, he should be killed. So better tell a lie. Said, I'm sorry. He is drawing so many conclusions. Then he's saying, you see, 43rd. Sometimes we can lie, my dear Bali Maharaj. In flattering a woman to bring her under control, in joking, in marriage ceremony, in earning one's livelihood, when one life is in danger, in protecting cows and Brahminical culture, or in protecting a person's enemy's hand, falsity is never condemned. Sometime we can tell a lie. That's okay. When protecting your life, we can tell a lie. Now you're giving, you lose your life, he will take away everything, make you bankrupt. So I think it's okay, you can tell a lie. I never told that. Say, I never told. Jao. I'm sorry, I cannot give you. Don't give him. Okay, you're all together here.
Is it as per scripture, Prabhu, the 43rd verse?
Yeah. So you read the purport, okay, later. Huh?
Okay, Prabhu.
That is Shukracharya's argument. Right. Do that. Now let us see how does he order. How does Vaman Deva will answer to this? Let us see. He has given his arguments and let Bali Maharaj answer. Shukadeva Goswami continued when the Supreme Personality Godhead Vaman Deva heard Bali Maharaj speaking in a pleasing way. This is over. Chapter 20. Okay, good. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, when Bali Maharaj was advised by his spiritual master Shukracharya's family priest, he remained silent for some time. And then after full deliberation, replied to his spiritual master as follows. Bali Maharaj said, as you have already stated, the principal religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame, means of livelihood is real occupation duty of a householder. I also think that religious principle is correct. I am the grandson of Prahlad. Now he counters first counter. How can I withdraw my promise because of greed for money when I said I will give this land? How can I withdraw? How can I behave like an ordinary cheater, especially towards a Brahmana? Now Shukracharya is not shocked. Actually, Guru should help us surrender to the Lord. Now God has come. Bali Maharaj wants to offer everything to God. What is the use of the silly arguments to avoid that? And he wants to. And what is the teaching? Again and again, the teaching of the Vedas is surrender to Lord. And here it is. This person is taking person away. How can I behave like an ordinary cheater, especially towards a Brahmana? Is very diplomatically speaking, actually.
Very, very fantastic, this verse.
There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Because of this, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any weight except that of a liar. So it's the main bhava here is actually Bali Maharaj is trying to surrender to the Lord. That's the main bhava. And he said Bali Maharaj is the personification of total surrender. I do not fear hell, poverty, or ocean, or distress, fault, or possession, or even death itself, as much as I fear cheating a Brahmana. My Lord, you can also see that all the material opulence of this world are certainly separated from the pajas at the time of death. Therefore, a Brahmana, Vamadeva is not satisfied whatever gift one has given. Why not please him with the riches one is destined to lose at death? So, how does it matter? Even if suppose he does this trick, in 3 steps he takes over the whole world. Anyway, death, everything will be taken away. Let me try to satisfy this person. What is there? Anyway, death, everything will go. So he's not satisfied by whatever I give him. He wants the whole universe. Let him take. Anyway, I'm going to lose things at death. Dadichi, Sibi, many great personalities were willing to sacrifice even their life for the benefit of the people in general. This is the evidence of history. Why not give this insignificant land? What is the serious consideration against it? Oh, best of the Brahmanas, certainly the great demonic who were never reluctant to fight, enjoyed this world. But in due course of time, everything they have taken was taken away, except their reputation. Why will they continue to exist? So reputation exists. I will be famous in the world as a great giver. In other words, one should try to achieve good reputation instead of anything else. So even if this person takes everything, won't I get a great reputation that I fulfilled my promise to a Brahmana? Oh, best of the Brahmanas, many men have laid their lives on the battlefield unafraid of fighting. But rarely has one got a chance to give equitable wealth faithful to a saintly person who creates holy place. All of us agree this boy is a great saint. Just look at him, look at him. If he wants to take everything, let him take. Kya bacha hai? I will get a fame of offering everything to the Lord. So nobody got a chance like this, and I want a chance. I want to offer everything to the small boy, even if he wants that. He's only asking for 3 steps, and in case he's doing some trick and taking, let him take. I have no regrets. By giving charity, a benevolent, mercy person undoubtedly become even more auspicious, especially when he gives charity to a person like your good self. Under the circumstances, I must give this little brahmachari whatever charity he wants from me. Oh, great sage, great saintly person like you, being completely aware of the Vedic principle, performing ritual ceremonies like yagnas, worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. You also worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. Therefore, whether the same Vishnu has come here to give me all benediction or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his order and give him the requested tract of land without hesitation. Let me give. Although is Vishnu himself, out of fear, he has covered himself in the form of Brahmana to come to me begging. Under the circumstances, because he has assumed the form of Brahmana, even if he irreligiously arrests me or even kills me, I shall not retaliate, although he is my enemy. So if he has done this, Lord Vishnu has come, I will not retaliate. If this Brahmana is really Lord Vishnu's worshipper, the Vedic, he will never give up his widespread reputation. He will either lie down having killed by me or kill me in fight. Actually, Acharya explained in the purport here, he will capture Bali Maharaj's heart. Shukadeva Goswami continued. Thereafter, the spiritual master Shukracharya, being inspired, now Lord made Shukracharya angry, just like Hiranyakashipu got angry. He started getting angry. He became, you don't listen to me. I told you, tell a lie, say I never promised, and tell I'm sorry, I'm busy with this thing. You're thinking you're more intelligent than me. He cursed his exalted disciple Bali Maharaj, who was so magnanimous in truthfulness that instead of respecting his spiritual master's instruction, he wanted to disobey his order. And he spoke very carefully. But Shukracharya was angry. Although you have no knowledge, Buddhu, you have become a so-called learned person. बहुत दिमाग हो गया. Therefore, you dare to so impudent disobey my order. You disobey me now. Because of disobeying me, you shall soon be bereft of all your opulence. So actually, after being cursed, then only Bali Maharaj, Vamadeva will act. Till that time, he is playing tricks. See how like Narasimhadeva manages Hiranyakashipu, how cleverly Vamadeva is managing everything as Bali Maharaj. Shukadeva Goswami continued, even after being cursed in this way by his own spiritual master, Bali Maharaj, being a great personality, never deviated from his determination. Therefore, according to custom, he first offered water to Vamadeva and offered him the gift of land he had promised. Bali Maharaj's wife, known as Vindhyavali, who was decorated necklace of pearls, immediately came and had a large golden water pot brought there. Golden water, full of water with which to worship Lord by washing his feet. She brought a bit pot to go. She is also very intelligent, right? Very intelligent. Bali Maharaj, the worshipper of Vamadeva, jubilantly washed the Lord's lotus feet, then took the water on his head, for water delivered the entire universe. At that time, the residents of higher planet, namely all the devatas are watching actually. Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Siddhas, all being very pleased by Bali Maharaj's simple, non-duplicitous act, praised his qualities and showered upon him millions of flowers. So nice. So all are happy. Everybody is happy. Look at this person. He is in a Daitya family. Look at him. He is not less than his grandfather. Prahlad is offering everything to the Lord. Correct? Nice. I continue. Today there
Yes,
is no
Prabhuji.
today there is no 3 o'clock class. Today there is no 3 o'clock class. Today it is not there. It will come next week. It will come. Now we have time. Chalo. The Gandharvas, Kimpurushas, Kinnaras sounded thousand cattle of trumpets, and again they sang in great jubilation, declaring how exalted a person is Bali Maharaj. What a difficult task he has performed. Even though he knew Lord Vishnu was on the other side of the enemy, he nonetheless gave the Lord the entire 3 words in charity. Now, because anyway he has been cursed by Shukracharya, and Bali Maharaj has washed his feet, he said, please proceed. What you want, take. Take 3 steps. I am ready to take whatever you want, I'll give you. The unlimited Supreme Personality Godhead who assumed the form of Vamana then began increasing in size in terms of the material energy until everything in the universe was within his body, including the earth, the planetary system, the sky, direction, various hosts in the universe, the seas, the ocean, the bird, the beast, human being, everything he brought like a Virat Rupa now stood in front of him. Bali Maharaj, along with the priest, Acharya, the members of the assembly, observed. So let us see some photo, see what is happening. Now something else is happening. They saw this. Oh, this is Bali Maharaj here. He is still worshipping the Lord. He has no problem. And is taking a huge form in front of him. And this was he, Bali Maharaj, washing his lotus feet. And this is Shukracharya. Arey, kya kar raha hai? Tu kya kar raha hai? He's like this. Leave it. Look at him. His eyes are fixed. Because he has got knowledge from his and Vamadeva is watching what's happening. What's happening? He's waiting for the curse him, then I start my drama. So the moment he curses, the moment he see he's watching, his eyes waiting. Moment he curses, see this person is also, oh my God, he's not the Shrapi de diya. Okay. And these are all. And then immediately he takes the form, massive form. And here is Bali Maharaj. He's fixed in determination. And he's happy actually. He's a great devotee, he's happy. Bali Maharaj, along with all the priests, Acharya, member assembly, observed the Supreme Personality Godhead universal body with the 6 opulences. They contained everything with the universe, various everything. Thereafter, Bali Maharaj, who was occupying the seat of King Indra, could see the low planetary system, Rasatala, on the source of the fit of the universal form, like Vishwarupa now. He saw the Lord's feet, the surface of the globes, on the surface of his calves, all the mountains, on his knees, the various birds, on his thighs, the varieties of air. Bali Maharaj saw beneath the garment of the Lord who acts wonderful evening to light in the Lord's private parts of Prajapati in the round portion of waist. He saw himself with confident associate. In the Lord navel, he saw the sky. On the Lord waist, he saw the 7 oceans. On the Lord bosom, he saw the cluster of stars. By the king on the heart of Lord Murari, he saw the religion on the chest, both pleasing word, truthfulness. That goes on. Take I'll just summarize. Bali Maharaj thus saw everything in the gigantic body of the Lord. O king, when the demons, the followers of Maharaj Bali, saw the universe of Supreme Personality Godhead who held everything within his body, when they saw the Lord hand his distant Sudarshana Chakra which generates intolerable heat, when they heard the tumultuous sound of his bow, all of these caused lamentation within their heart. Are sab gaya abhi, sab gaya. The Lord conch shell named Panchajanya, which made sounds like that a cloud, the very ferocious club named Kaumadaki, the sword named Vidyadhara with a shield decorated hundreds of moon-like spots, and also Akshayakska, the best of the keepers, all of them appeared together to offer praise to the Lord. These associates, headed by Sunanda and other chief associates, accompanied by all predominating deities of various planets, offered praise to the Lord who wore a brilliant. So all some associates of the Lord also appeared now there. O King, the Supreme Personality, manifesting himself in this way, O King, Supreme Personality, Godhead, whose activity is wonderful, covered the entire surface of the earth with one step, the sky of the body and all directions with the arms. As the Lord took his second step, he covered the heavenly planet and not even a spot remained for the third step, for the Lord's foot extended higher and higher beyond Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, even Satyaloka. Can you imagine? The whole universe is covering with his 2 steps. The Lord can do that. Therefore, it's Urukrama. Many people say, I am God. Huh? Do 2 steps, show me how much you can cover in 2 steps. Shukdev, simply. Yes, the people simply say, I am God. Do know something like God. They don't know how God is great. 2 steps is covering universe. When the Lord Brahma was born in the lotus flower saw that the effulgence of his residence Brahmaloka has been reduced by the glaring of the toenails of Lord Vishnu. So Brahma saw one huge fit is coming, beautiful, huge fit. He approached the Supreme Personality Godhead. Lord Brahma accompanied by all the great sages headed by Marachi and the yogis like Sanandana, Sanat Kumara Sanandana. And the presence of the glaring of even Lord Brahma and his saints seemed insignificant. Among the great personality came to worship lotus feet of the Lord were those who attained perfection. Okay, everybody came. So everybody worshipped the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord, oblations of water. So Brahma all started offering water to the lotus feet. Therefore, birth of Ganga is now getting born actually. The stage is one of the stages, Brahma washing the Vamana's lotus feet. O king, the water from Lord Brahma's Kamandulu washed the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadeva, who known as Urukrama, the wonderful actor. Karama is actor, Urukrama is great actor. When the water became so pure that it was transformed into the water of the Ganges, which went down flowing the sky, purifying the 3 worlds like the pure fame of the personality. There's one reason. Now Vamanadeva is going to tear the covering of the universe. So from water comes the spiritual world also. That also combined. So 3-4 waters combined actually for Ganges. So Lord Brahma washes the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadeva. So that is one of the reasons for appearance of Ganges. Lord Brahma and all of the predominating deities of the various planetary systems began to worship Lord Vamanadeva, their supreme master, who had reduced himself from his all-pervading form to his original form. They collected all the ingredients and paraphernalia for his birth. So they all came down. Brahma all worshipped and they came down. Lord Vamanadeva had come to his normal form. They worshipped the Lord by offering all dhupa, deepa, and they started saying Jai, Jai. They danced, played instruments, all we should do. All the devatas are dancing now. Jambavan, the king of bears, also joined the ceremony, sounding his bugle nundar. He also declared a great festival, Lord Vamadeva's victory. Jambavan also started dancing. Jambavan is a separate story, is another special personality. When the demonic followed the Maharaj, Bali saw that the master who had been determined to performing sacrifice lost all his possessions to Vamanadeva, taken away on the plea of begging 3 pieces of land. They were very angry and spoke as follows. This Vamana is certainly not a Brahmana, best of cheaters, Lord Vishnu. As even the form of Brahmana, he has covered his own form. He is working for the interest of the Devatas. Our Lord Bali Maharaj, because he is in Yagna, he is not punishing anybody because, he has taken that oath. When you sit for Yagna, you have a particular behavior. So he is limited because of his behavior. So he is behaving like that. Interesting. So since he is always kind and merciful to Brahmanas, cannot say anything at any time speak lies. Therefore, it was our duty is to kill Vamanadeva, this Vishnu. It was religious principle, that way to serve a master. The demonic follower Maharaj Bali took up the various weapons of view to kill Vamanadeva. O king, demons, aggravated by his usual anger, took out their lance and tried in hand, and against the will of Bali Maharaj, they pushed forward to kill Valmama. Bali Maharaj saying, no, don't do all this. O king, when assaults the Lord Vishnu saw the soldiers, already I told you assaults have come, Vishnu's assaults have come there. Soldiers are demons coming forward in violence, they smiled. Taking the weapon, they forward the demons to continue the attempt. Nanda, Sunanda, Jaya Vijaya, they have come. Prabala, Bala, Kumuda, Kumudaksha, Vishwakshena, Garuda, Jayanta, Shrutadeva, Pushpadanta, Shat are all assaults of Lord Vishnu. They are all as powerful as the 10,000 elephants, and now they began killing the soldiers of the demon. When Bali Maharaj saw that his own soldiers are being killed by the Lord Vishnu, he remembered the curse of Shukracharya and forbade his soldiers to continue to fight. Oh Viprachiti, oh Rahu, oh Nemi, please hear my word. Don't fight, stop immediately, for the present time is not in our favor. Oh Daityas, by human effort, no one can supersede the Supreme Personality Godhead, who can bring happiness and distress to all living beings. The supreme time factor represents Supreme Lord are previously in our favor and not in the favor of the demigod. But now the same time factor is against us. No one can surpass the time representation of the Supreme Personality Godhead by mental power, by the counsel of ministers, by intelligence, by diplomacy of fortress, by mystic mantras, by drugs, by herbs, or any other mean. Previously being empowered by providence, you defeated a great number of such followers of Lord Vishnu. But today, those same followers having defeated us are roaring in jubilation like a lion. You said Kala is changed now, my dear, followers. Now let us accept the present situation. Unless providence is in our favor, we will not be able to gain victory. Therefore, we must wait for the favorable time when our defeating them will be possible. So, we're speaking very diplomatically. Shukadeva Goswami continued, O king, in accordance with the order of their master, Bali Maharaj, all the chiefs of the demons and Daitya entered the lower regions of the universe to be driven by the soldiers of Vishnu. Thereafter, on the day of Sovapana, after the sacrifice was finished, Garuda, the king of birds, understanding the desire of master, arrested Bali Maharaj, the ropes of Varuna. Now, Vaman, they were really testing Bali Maharaj. And he arrested him. Because why arrested? Because he is a cheater. He has given only 2 steps. He is supposed to give 3 steps. When Bali Maharaj was arrested Lord Vishnu, the most powerful, there was a great roar of lamentation in all directions throughout the upper and lower planetary system. Actually, he is just testing him. O king, the supreme personality Godhead, Vamanadeva then spoke to Bali Maharaj, the most liberal and celebrated personality, whom he had arrested with the ropes of Varuna. Bali Maharaj had lost all bodily luster, but nonetheless fixed in determination. O king of the demons, you have promised to give me 3 steps of land, but I occupied the entire universe 2 steps. Now think about where I should put my 3rd. He is now, testing him. See, it's not easy. Everything is taken away. You will be in great tension, isn't it? Correct? And now, even after that, he's testing him now. Where I'm the 3rd step? As
He will offer himself.
Huh?
He will offer himself.
Yeah, he will. We know that. But you see, Lord is testing him. Ordinary man, you take away from a king, you make him a street beggar. That is one part. Everything. And secondly, you insult him in public, tie him up like a prisoner and blast him. That's what is happening. But he will not be disturbed. So Krishna does this to show everybody, look how great is man. In the heart, Bali Maharaj is not suffering. He is enjoying the nectar. Krishna's punishment, so-called punishment. But external people, it's like, oh my God, what's happening to him? As far as sun and moon shine with the star, as far as the clouds pour rain, all the land throughout the universe is in your possession. Of these possessions, 1 step I occupied Bhuloka, with my body occupied entire sky in all directions. And in your present 2nd step, I occupied the upper planetary system. Because you have been unable to give charity according to your promise, the rule is you should go down, live in hell. Therefore, in accordance with the order of your Shukracharya, spiritual master, now go down and live there. So he is just testing him. Far from being elevated to a heavenly planet or fulfilling one desire, one who does not properly give a beggar what he promised falls down to a hellish condition like that. Narak Jadwa. Because being falsely proud of your possession, you promised to give me land, but you could not fulfill your promise. Therefore, your promise was false. You must live for few years in hellish life. So he is just playing with him now. Now you know what is going to happen. Bali Maharaj, what you said, Mataji, surrenders his life.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Krishna is showing. O king, all the supreme personality God have superficially seem to have acted mischievously toward Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was fixed in, his faith is not lost. Fixed and determined. He is in the heart very happy, no doubt. Like Prahlad Maharaj did not doubt, he never doubted. Considering himself not to have fulfilled his promise, he spoke as follows. He was thinking how to fulfill now. Kya karo? Kahan se bhi teacher step? Do to ho gaya sab karna. What should I do now? Oh, best of the personality, most worshipful all the demigod. If you think that my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify the matters and make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please, therefore, place your 3rd step on my head. Take my life. Imagine the size. Who has taken the universe in 2 steps? 3rd step put on my head, telling an elephant to put step on his head. Now take my life.
Wonderful sacrifice.
I do not fear being deprived of my possession, living in a hellish life, being arrested of poverty over the oaths of Varuna, being punished by you, as much I fear definition. Although a father, mother, brother, or friend may sometimes punish one as a well-wisher, they never punished a subordinate like this. He said, father, mother also don't do like this, what you have done to me. Sometimes they punish, but don't punish like this as their subordinate. But because you are the most supreme Lord, I regard your punishment as being most exalted. I don't take anything for it, correct? In heart of the heart, sometimes father doesn't punish his son like this. But because you are most worshipable Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as the most exalted. I don't doubt you. Since your Lordship is indirectly the greatest well-wisher of us demons, You act for our best while we're posing as our enemy. Because demons like us always aspire for a position of false prestige by chastising us. You give us eyes by which to see the right path. Many demons who are continuously inimical towards you finally achieve the perfection of great mystic yogis. By killing Krishna, when he kills the demons, they get moksha. The Lord Shri can perform one work with many purposes. Consequently, although you punish me in various ways, I do not feel ashamed or I've been arrested by the ropes of Varuna, nor do I feel aggrieved. My grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, actually his heart is given to Prahlad, is famous, being recognized by all your devotees. Although harassed in many ways by his father Hiranyakashipu, he still remained faithful, taking shelter at your lotus feet. What is the use of the metal body which automatically leaves its owner at the end of life? What is the use of one's family member who are acting plunderers, taking away money that is useful to service the Lord in spiritual opulence? Okay, family members will take all money away. Papa, I want bike, I want car. That money he can serve Krishna. What is the use of a wife? She's only source of increasing material condition. Array, bring gold for me, bring jewelry for me. What is the use of family, home, country, and community? Attachment to the merely waste of valuable energy of one's lifetime. My grandfather, the best of all men, who achieved unlimited knowledge of worshipable for everyone, was afraid of the common man in this regard because they may take your mind away from Krishna's service. Being fully convinced of the substantially offered shelter of lotus feet, he took shelter of your lotus feet against the will of his father and demonic friends who were killed by your own self. Correct? We read the Prahlad Maharaj Leela. Only by providence have I been forcefully brought under your lotus feet and deprived of all my opulence. Because of the illusion created by temporary opulence, people in general who live under the mental condition, facing accident, death at every moment, do not understand that this life is temporary. Only by providence have I been saved from that condition. Shukdev Goswami said, oh, best of the Kurus. While Bali Maharaj is describing his fortunate position in this way, the most dear devotee of the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj, appeared there like a moon rising in the night time. Prahlad Maharaj is still there and he comes. His grandson is arrested and he comes.
Then Mali.
So we continue, we stop here today now.
We'll finish this. We'll finish. We'll
Being
continue.
off the ropes of Varuna, 15 minutes will finish. Bali
Yes,
Maharaj
Prabhu.
did not offer befitting respects to Prahlad Maharaj as he had before. You know, he was bound, so he is not able to offer prayers. Let us see the PPT. You see now here, Prahlad Maharaj has come, he is elderly now, and his head is down because Prahlad Maharaj satisfied the Lord, but he's feeling, my grandfather, I could not satisfy the Lord. Lord is angry at me. Correct? So his head is down. I'm sorry. See, he's so sweet. His head is down.
So nice.
I'm sorry, I could not satisfy the Lord. I tried everything. I gave him everything. He has arrested me. Correct? And he's angry at me. Prahlad Maharaj comes and he says something very sweet. Bali Maharaj could not offer befitting as Prahlad Maharaj has done before. Rather, he simply offered with his head, his eyes inundated with tears, and his face lowered with shame. You could satisfy Vishnu, I am not able to do. That way. When the great personality Prahlad Maharaj saw the Supreme Lord was sitting there, surrounded worshipable at intimate associate like Sunanda, he overwhelmed with tears of jubilation. Approaching the Lord and falling to the ground, he offered obeisances to the Lord with his head. Prahlad Maharaj said, my Lord, it is your Lordship who gave this Bali the very great opulence of post a heavenly king. And today it is you who have taken it all away. You only gave him everything and you only have taken away. I think you have acted with equal beauty in both ways. Because his exalted position, King of Heaven, was putting him in the darkness of ignorance, you have done him great merciful favor. He was getting proud. My grandson was getting little proud. So you have done him a great favor taking away everything. Material opulence is so bewildering that it makes even a learned, self-controlled man forget to search for the goal of life. But the Supreme Personality God, Narayana, the Lord of the universe, can see everything by his will. Therefore, I offer my restful obeisance unto him. So no protest. He is peaceful. He is happy. Shukdev Goswami continued, O King, Parish, Lord Brahma then began to speak to the Supreme Personality Godhead within the hearing of Prahlad Maharaj, who stood near with folded hand. So before Brahma speaks, his wife Vandyavali comes, and I had a class on this, how the demons' wives are all very intelligent. But Bali Maharaj, chaste wife, afraid and aggrieved at seeing a husband arrested, immediately offered obeisance to Lord Vaman Deva. She folded her hands and spoke as follows. Srimati Vindhyavali said, "Oh my Lord, you created the entire universe for the enjoyment of your personal pastime." Correct? This word also belongs to Krishna for his enjoyment. But foolish, unintelligent men to claim proprietorship of material enjoyment. Certainly, they are shameless, agnostic, falsely claiming proprietorship. The thing they can give charity and enjoy in such a condition, what good they can do for you, who are the independent creator, maintainer, and innovator of the universe. Lord Brahma said, "O well-wisher and master of the living entities, O worshipful deity of all the demigods, O all-pervading personality Godhead, now this man has been sufficiently punished, for you have taken everything. Now you can release him. He does not deserve to be punished more." He said, "Enough, you are punished," Lord Brahma is saying. Okay, so Vindhyavali says, they think they can give charity. They think they can give charity, enjoy. What good they can do? So they are he is finding fault. My husband was thinking, "Oh, I can give charity." He forgot that everything belongs to Krishna. The world is created for Krishna's enjoyment. They foolishly claim proprietorship for material enjoyment. So now Brahma continues. "O well-wisher master of the living entity, O worshipable deity of all demigods, O all-pervading personality Godhead, now this man has been sufficiently punished, for you have taken everything. Now you can release him. It does not deserve to be punished anymore." Krishna gets satisfied by offering little tulsi. That's what he will say. Bali Maharaj had already offered everything to your lordship. Without hesitation, he offered his land, the planets, and whatever else he earned by his pious activity, including even his body. By offering even water, newly grown grass, a flower bud at your lotus feet, those who maintain no mental duplicity can achieve the most exalted position within the spiritual world. Correct? Little offering, flower, little grass, tulsi, we can satisfy Krishna. But this person has offered everything. One tulsi leaf offered at your feet, you become satisfied. And this person, without duplicity, no duplicity, but sincerely has offered you everything, the whole three world. Why he deserves to be suffer from arrest? So he is petitioning on Bali Maharaj's behalf. Brahma. The Supreme Personality Godhead said, "My dear Brahma, because of material opulence, a foolish person becomes dull-witted and mad. Thus he has no respect for anyone within three words and defies even my authority. To such a person I so special power of first taking of all his possessions. By rotating in the cycle of birth and death again and again in different species because of their own fruitive activities, the dependent living entity of good fortune may happen to become a human being. This human birth is very rarely obtained. If a human being is born in an aristocratic family or a high state of life, he performs wonderful activities if he is youthful, if he has personal beauty, a good education, a good wealth. And if he is nonetheless not proud of his opulence, it is to understood that he is specially favored by the Supreme Personality Godhead. Suppose somebody gets a lot of opulence and doesn't become proud, that is a special favor. All the aristocratic birth and such opulence are impediment advance in devotional service because they cause false prestige and pride. This opulence is never disturb a pure devoted Supreme Personality God. Not that everybody will get disturbed, but this person looked to be disturbed. Bali Maharaj was a bit proud. Bali Maharaj had become the most famous among the demons and non-believers. In spite of being bereft of all material element of his opulence, he is fixed.
In his devotional.
So even though I have taken away everything from him, he is still fixed in his devotional service. Now he is himself glorifying Vamandeva. All the bereft of his riches, fallen from the original position, defeated and arrested by the enemies, rebuked and deserted by his relatives. See, so many things happened together. He lost his money, he lost his post, and is arrested by the enemies, is rebuked, all relatives have left him, suffering the pain of being bound. His own guru, whom he respected so much, has cursed him. He is still fixed in his vow, did not give up his truthfulness. It was certainly with pretension that I spoke about religious principle, but he did not give up religious principle, for he is true to the word. Lord, continue. Because of his great tolerance, I have given you a place not obtainable even for demigod. He now bless him something. He gives him Sutala, which he makes him to be he tells Vishwakarma, develop it even better than Indrapuri. He'll become the king of heaven planet to the Manu known as Savani. That is the next Manvantara. Next Manvantara, I give him the post of Indra. And now he will stay in a place more beautiful than Devaloka. Until Bali Maharaj achieves the position of king of heaven, He shall live in a planet Sutala, which was made by Vishwakarma according to my order. So Krishna has already made all arrangements. Because it is specially protected by me, it is free from mental agony and bodily miseries, fatigue, dizziness, defeat. Bali Maharaj, you may go. And actually, Vamadeva, becomes what? Vamadeva there, he becomes the doorkeeper. He said, he has captured my heart. He becomes the doorkeeper where? In the Sutala. Bali Maharaj, now you go to the planet Sutala, which is desired even by the demigod. Live there peacefully, surrounded by your friends and relatives, all good fortune unto you. On the planet Sutala, not in the predominantly due to other planet, what is ordinary people able to conquer you. As far demons are concerned, if they transgress your rule, my disc will kill them. Oh, great hero, I shall always be with you and give you protection, all respect along associate. Moreover, you shall always be able to see me there. Because there you will see my supreme prowess, your materialistic ideas, anxiety that have arisen from your association of demons and Danavas immediately vanquished. So what a benediction. Nice. And the Lord becomes his doorkeeper. Is captured. You know, when he offers something to the Lord, Lord is not unhappy. Lord is very happy. He said, he has captured my heart. I tested him. He passed the test. Beautiful pastime. Hare Krishna. So, what do you learn from this pastime? Hare Krishna Mataji, Jyoti Shetty, Karavali Shetty, so many, Kalavati Shetty. What do you learn from this pastime?
Prabhuji, is this Atman
One should not be
Nivedam?
proud.
We should not become proud. Yes.
Proud.
Very good. Then?
Is everything belongs to the Lord, offer everything to him.
Yes. And the Lord sometimes tests us. Testing Bali Maharaj.
Prabhuji, this is Atman Nivedam also. Completely
Yes.
you should surrender to the Lord. One of the 9 devotional services you told.
Very good. Very good. What's your name?
Vijay.
Yes, Vijay. Where are you? I am not able to say. Where do you stay?
From Mumbai.
Oh, Mumbai. You will go to a temple there? Our Chapati?
Yes, Prabhuji. I just live opposite the temples.
Which temple?
ISKCON temple, Juhu.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is Atma Nivedana. You're chanting 16 rounds, Vijay?
Not 16. I'm able to do right now 4 to 8 rounds. I'm trying to increase.
Now, Krishna, what do you want Krishna to fully bring words to standstill for you to chant? He wants to make Vijay chant and he's stopping the world so you can peacefully chant, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
He's waiting. Like Vamadeva is waiting. He'll do anything so that you can peacefully chant. Anyway, try to chant. I know Bombay is a very busy city, but I think now things are, what's happening? The city is moving. Life has come back to the city. Business is running or things are standstill.
It's still like that. It's standstill only, but cases are increasing there.
Yeah, 10,000 cases a day. I don't know what people are doing. Anna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And they're spreading everywhere. Our Karnataka was peaceful. That also become now. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have a question.
Yes.
Prabhu, Sutala planet is in lower planetary system, right?
Tala, Tala, Patala, Sutala, Tala, Tala, Mahatala. Not hell. It is a low planet system.
So it is being said that if we fall down from human birth, so there is a chance we can go to Sutala planet also.
No. Sutala is now you'll not get so easily. It is a special place. Just like Dhruvaloka is a special place, Sutala is a special place.
So, Prabhu, the other question, wherever this the Ashwamedha Yagya Bali Maharaj was doing, one of the verse it was mentioned it is beside Narmada river. Where exactly was that place, Prabhu?
I don't know. Exactly, I don't know where he was being. You have to see what happened. You have to course or not. I don't know exactly.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Nishtha.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Nice to read Vaman Leela.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Very nice, Prabhuji. It was very good.
What is the main lesson?
Yeah. No matter how much ever we grow, just surrender to the Lord. It's all His blessings.
So he'll come to your place, 3 steps, you're ready? Hare, you cheated Bali Maharaj, I will not give you. Very dangerous person.
Another lesson is,
Huh? Yeah.
another lesson is don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah, Mataji, you are muted. Kalavati Mataji, you are muted. Yeah. No, you are muted. We are not able to hear you.
Prabhuji, I managed.
You are
5
muted. Mataji.
rounds
Kalavati
today.
Mataji is muted. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I managed 5 rounds today.
Oh, very good. Please keep chanting. Where are you, in Bombay?
No, in Bangalore.
Oh, Bangalore.
I can do it in 2 periods.
Yeah, you can do as many breaks. That is not important. That's a
But
dosage.
I must sit in one place and do it.
Yeah, anywhere. That doesn't matter. A point is, now in the beginning, just focus on the number also and the quality also. Automatically, quality will come. As you keep chanting, mind becomes very calm. Yes, Mataji, you were saying something, Kalavati Mataji? Yeah, muted, Mataji. You are muted. No, you are muted. We are not able to hear you. I don't know why. You are muted. Yes, Jyoti Shetty Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, you are also muted. Ayyo. This.
Prabhuji, can we do the chants when we have our walks?
Yeah, go for a
When
walk.
we're doing our daily walk,
Yeah, no problem.
we can chant. Oh.
That is called Japa walk. Actually, a lot of people in the morning do walk. Why don't they chant when they're walking? It is so good, Anna.
Yeah, it will keep your mind from going somewhere.
Everybody, you can tell. Everybody goes for a walk in the morning. Why they can't chant? They're simply thinking about so many things. They can instead of that count, Anna. Okay. Chalo. So chalo
Hare
Bali
Krishna,
Maharaj.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this Vindhyavali is Putana, right, Prabhuji?
I do not know this.
Some Prabhu was telling me, could you please recheck that, Prabhuji?
I do not know. Something new that is. That is.
Because when she saw first
No,
the Vamana Deva,
Bali
she was
Maharaj's
feeling that how beautiful this child is.
Putana.
If I am his mother, then it will be very good. So in the next birth, when Krishna came, he gave the Putana's post to her. That's why she was feeding.
Bali
Even though she was
Maharaj's
giving a poison, he gave the
wife.
position of a mother, I think.
Okay. I do not know. I'll have to check. Okay, interesting.
During this Damodar month, one Prabhuji was telling this.
Okay. Hare Krishna. I'll find out, Mataji. I'll come.
Thank you, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Guruji.
So we break now. We are 2 hours already. Okay. Pancha Kripa Kripa Sindhavevcha Patitan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Ananta Vaishnavindaki.
Jai.
Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.